Welcome back to Unfiltered Counseling. I'm your host, Dr. Kelly Avritt.
I'm Dr. John Avritt.
What do you want to talk about? How was your week and what do you want to talk
Oh
about?
my gosh. Always, as I always say here, busy week, right? A lot of things going on in the clinic. But our hunt the good stuff for the week. It was, it's kind of weird. For those that are following the podcast or that don't know us personally, I was a high school coach for 15 years. Kind of a first career. And you helped me realize that as I was getting burnt out and, some people will talk about later, work-life conflict. Yeah, didn't have any harmony there. I like to call it work-life harmony, but I didn't have any harmony. We didn't have any harmony when I was coaching. But the best part about it was the relationships you get to build with the players and that they stick with you. Once you're their high school coach, that's you for the rest of their lives, no matter what you do after. And so it's so weird. As I was tending to our new puppy, in the middle of the night, as puppies tend to do.
This so much. I'm going to get on a rant about this.
They can be your hunt the good stuff. How about that?
It is going.
Okay, but so here I am messing with this puppy at 12:30, taking him out because he's whining and won't stop. I get a text at 12:30 in the morning from a former player, and he just texts, "What's up, coach?" And I'm like, man, this is like, he's one of the first players I ever coached. He's in his 40s now. He's got it. And so I didn't respond to him at 12:30. I did in the next morning. And so it was a really kind of cool thing this week.
Yeah.
Like, so it's my hunt the good stuff. It's what I appreciated this week the most, I think. Because, it's nice to be remembered, of course, but it's nice to have those relationships continue and be able to catch up with former players, former students about what's going on in their lives. And it's a reminder that, that I don't take for granted that, when you're in that role, you have a certain level of importance and what you're doing is very important.
You're spending more time with them.
Certainly are. Yeah.
And
In many ways. Yeah. In some cases you are their parent. I wasn't in his case, but it was nice to hear from him and have him catch up, like at, random thought. Yeah. So that was cool. All right. So yours, the good stuff this week is
I'm so excited. So you've been wanting a dog for a long time. And I was really excited to not have a dog because I have taken care of animals since I was 5 years old. Like always. Animals or kids, keeping them alive, right?
Yes.
So I was fine not having a dog, but it made you sad. So when you said, look, there's these puppies at the pound. And I'm like, okay, it's pound puppy. All right, let's go. So we get the dog. And my good stuff was in the middle of the night when that dog was freaking whining, I just said, your dog's crying. I rolled over and you had to get up. And it was so
You didn't even do that. It
was so
You just rolled over and I just had to do it. Anyway, all right. So your hunt the good stuff is that you don't have to take care of the new puppy.
Well, no, it's really not that. It's that I, for the first time, set a boundary with you.
Fair enough.
And said,
all right, that's an appropriate boundary. Okay, fair.
Your suffering is
so
stuff.
Yeah. So apparently
apparently
my week is neutral hunt the good stuff. Because like I had a good reach out from a foreign player, like that was encouraging, and we chatted during the week, and then but it's back to neutral because I'm stuck on puppy duty. So all right, so some weeks when you break even, it's a win.
It's a win.
Okay, I'll take it.
Okay. So last episode we talked about ketamine-assisted. You shared your experiences. I think I want to focus on this time about, we just had a lot of discussion about integration, how that works.
Yes.
We talked about there being 3 phases to this. The first kind of being your intention.
Yeah.
Then the actual dosing, and then what happens after, because we know there's clinics around that are the hook you up to an ID and Akiko.
Yeah, something we talked about last time was like how to choose what you're looking for, and in sort of the what's the purpose of this, and how we guide people away from the fix-it mentality, and when you are in a mental health crisis, when you're suffering from stress, anxiety, depression, or any of the other things that people present for, you know, y- it, it's not cancer, and you're not going to the doctor to get chemo to knock out this disease in you. So, but I think a lot of people assume that that's what this is. And that's why the standard method, the gold standard method is, let's establish gentle directions. It's like there's these clinics that we hear about where people go in and there's like, okay, whatever comes up, and we'll just deal with it then. And like if you are a combat veteran, that could mean an awful lot. If you've had a lot of childhood trauma, that can mean an awful lot. Like, are we just going to trust that I'm going to open the door of the house that I've shoved all of my trauma in, and just whatever escapes? And is that healthy? Is that appropriate? And so this 3-step process is, let's establish a direction, a compass direction for each of the sessions. Let's be curious about something. You know, like, am I curious about why I've been angry a lot lately? I am open-minded to solutions on how to handle it differently. Um, and then after the flight, that integration is huge. As we've talked about before, ketamine helps produce a neuroplastic window. And for those that are confused about what that means is your neurons that have been previously impaired and atrophied by chronic levels of cortisol, high cortisol, and stress and trouble and trauma, they're now awake and alive, and neural pathways can be rewired. They can be told what to do. You've got an opportunity. But after each ketamine dose, that really lasts about 7 to 10 days. Sometimes longer if you dosed and stacked, flights and doses on top of each other, it could extend. But what do you do during that time period? If your philosophy is, I'm going to go get an IV ketamine treatment and then walk away and do nothing with the neuroplastic window, then you're just going for the immediate benefits. You're not going for long-term change.
Well, and what you pay attention to during that time
Mhm.
is what gets rewired.
Yes.
And so I think people, it's not willy-nilly. Like, you can't just do it and go, oh, it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
The other thing that I think is important to note here is that you may go in with an intention of, I want to figure out why I'm angry or whatever, right? You may not get that answer during that time.
Correct.
And a lot of people can get frustrated by that or say, I didn't see anything, right? Nothing came to me during that. And, oh, it must not be working. But that's not really the case.
Right.
Correct? I mean,
Correct. You are getting some benefit every single time. And not every flight is easily dissected in the moment. It might be several flights to get to that point. But that's why it's so important to have someone, a therapist, a clinician that understands that, working with you in that 7 to 10 day post dosing phase as part of integrating all of it. And if you go to a clinic and you're not doing that with the person that observed you in the clinic, and you're not able to process with that person immediately after, then it's fragmented and you've got information going all over the place. Is your therapist
what do you
able
mean by that? You got information going all over the place.
so
Read through it.
if you go to an, let's say, IV clinic, and you get, you have your 2-hour dose, and that's not your therapist that's with you. That's just a nurse practitioner,
Medical
a
professional.
medical professional that is there to do that.
Straight medication, basically.
Right. And then you go home and you're having all of these thoughts. You're trying to process the flight, what you saw, what maybe you didn't see anything. Maybe you just had feelings. Maybe just thoughts kept racing in and out. And you have no one to process that with. And you're writing it all down, but then you could be talking, the clinician or the mental health professional that was with you during the dose, they have a piece of what they saw and what you experienced. And then you have a therapist, maybe, and you're trying to remember what occurred in the session. And you're trying to, it's like you're trying to repeat something to someone days later or even weeks later, it's very challenging to fragment that experience out to other people. You know, it's like having multiple therapists and you're getting multiple ideas. Whereas if you have your therapist is the one helping you with intentions, with you during dosing, and with you during integration, that person's riding with you the whole time. It's you and that therapist. And they know what occurred every dosing session. They know what occurred every integration session. They know where you're going. They know what you're instead of fragmenting that information out to multiple people.
So I think what's the most interesting to me about kind of all that is, or the kind of the difference between it is a psychedelic, but it's a dissociative.
Yes.
So
Yes.
you are literally, if your trauma is a river, you're getting to observe your trauma from the bank,
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a good analogy.
right?
I like that. Yeah.
Other psychedelics maybe put you right in the middle of the river. So
Yeah.
so I think that I'm wondering about that intention that you're talking about. You're you're trying to solve something. What if you don't know what you need to solve though?
That's why the integration is really important, right? That's why you went to a therapist and you're stuck. Like, why do people do this? Why do people go to therapy? What prevents them from going to therapy? It's if you're stuck, if you're paralyzed, if your default mode network is to just freeze, fight, flight, freeze, right? You know something's not right. You know there's a threat somewhere. Your fight or flight is on, but you don't know what to do, who to fight or where to run. Then you freeze. And if you're in that stuck, frozen mode, then it might prevent you from going to get therapy. But it also prevents you, like, if you knew the answers, you wouldn't need me, right? You need someone that can help you, give you a perspective.
But we do have the answers within us. We have the ability.
We do.
But we have to wade through the.
Well, okay. I'm going to go back to maybe something we talked about on previous podcasts, but go back to this analogy again.
Okay.
Back to when we got married in the church and we met with these Franciscan friars.
Right.
Okay. And, I'm meeting with one and you're meeting with another one. And that friar asked me if I go to church. And I was like, damn, busted. We did. And it kind of stopped. And, and he's like, okay, let me give you this analogy. If you got home in the middle of the night and the power was out, could you find your bed? And I'm like, yeah, of course. I was like, really sure, of course. He goes, would you step on something? And I'm like, yeah, probably. We got kids. Would you run into a wall, a chair that wasn't pushed in? And, I'm like, absolutely. All those things could be true. But would you make it? Of course I'd make it. What if the lights came on? Would it be easier? I'm like, yes, of course. He goes, that's church. And I think that's therapy. Like, do I think these individuals who are stuck could find the answers within eventually? Absolutely. Absolutely. I think people are resilient. I think that given the opportunity and given the, the right ass on fire motivation, absolutely, people can figure it out. But when you come to therapy, maybe that therapist can help you turn the lights on, and maybe you can get to where you're going without so many bumps and bruises along the way.
Sure.
So that's kind of what our goal is.
So I've been thinking about this a lot, like the power of the default mode network.
Yeah.
Right. And that really brings that default mode network down. So it gives you that extra second or that space between how you've always done it and how you want to do it differently. Right. So it lets you think about it before you respond. Is that fair?
Yeah, absolutely fair. Yeah. What is your default? Is it fight? Is it flight? Is it freeze? Is it fall?
So it gives you a little space and time so you can choose a different path, right? That's
it's something we've talked about before about assumptions. Like, are you defaulted towards having negative assumptions about people? Is your negativity bias, which we all have, it's a protective mechanism to look for the negative in everything so that we are safe, so I can avoid it. Is your default to quickly believe everything is negative? And this allows you what you're talking about. Slow down. Tactical pause. like process this a minute, seek to understand, something we've talked about before, right? Instead of just default towards a certain reaction. And it does knock it down.
So that's, I think, maybe why I've been thinking about this and like why people wait so long to come to therapy.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times when we get couples or whatever, they have their own life support at that point. Is it because, and okay, so go back to everybody's got the ability within them, right? You have the ability to solve your own problems. You're just kind of coaching people through that, right? That's your job. Because you don't have a magic wand and mine's in the shop. So, but
The dog ate it.
your dog ate it. Yours.
My dog ate your magic wand while you were out of town.
Oh, great. But I guess, you know, I keep thinking about patterns.
Yeah.
And we establish these patterns as people. It's not that we don't know how to do it differently.
Right.
You know, you might have a split second thought, I shouldn't probably say that.
Yeah.
I probably should shut my mouth right now. Or why is this like, you know, maybe in a split second, this shouldn't bother me, but it does. And you're pissed off and off you say what you got to say. So every time we respond, I just want to make sure I'm getting this right. Every time we respond negatively to this stimuli, we are entrenching it.
Sure.
And ketamine basically lets that trench go away.
You mentioned on the banks, watching your trauma or whatever.
Your trauma's a river and you're on a bank.
Yeah, you're watching your life, you know, or like you are outside this house, you're looking in the window and you're seeing you behave.
Okay.
Right? It allows you to say, I
don't like that.
I probably didn't do that well.
We facilitated with folks that maybe don't have a visual experience.
Yeah.
They don't feel like anything happens during the flight, and maybe the flight's very short. But that relationship that you talked about, because you know the patient kind of before and after, and you know all the things, you as the therapist or the facilitator is able to begin to make connections that they maybe don't see.
Right.
Is that
Patterns.
You see the patterns, or you say, or you can see a difference in their deportment where before maybe they look a little lighter when you talk to them, or maybe they can hold a boundary that they couldn't hold before as they're talking about. So it's not a dramatic, I guess my point is it's not going to be a dramatic breakthrough all the time. It's going to be a process.
It's very much a process. That's why, you know,
change is a process.
Change is a process. It's not an event. Like this isn't, you know, I think, and that's, I'm concerned with the state of psychedelics. We had this debate before we started airing about, you know, the executive order that was signed and different psychedelics that are out there, and all of them have a different, some purpose. And I think it's really important that people understand where it's evolving to, and being very intentional about their goals. You know, if you were to go to a retreat center in Mexico to do ibogaine, that is a very long process. It's a 3-day affair, very challenging mentally and physically. This is not something anyone would sign on for recreationally, unless you recreationally like throwing up in a bucket for 12 hours. Like, I don't think anybody ever signs on for more of that. That could be changes an event, but even that event within the event is a very long process.
Absolutely.
Very arduous, difficult process. So, but I'm afraid that where it's going is we are guiding people towards, if you do this thing, you will be fixed.
Well, I think that's my point. That's why I said that, because people maybe we are a society of instant gratification, and we want a quick fix, right? Everybody does.
Sure.
And we've been trained that way. The medical model has been, oh, you have this symptom, let me give you a pill for that. Oh, you don't like that, let me give you this. It's been that there's a pill for that. Right. So that is the way that we have been conditioned.
Right.
But the bottom line is, if you have the power to fix yourself, then there's work to be done. You're like, right? I mean, it's gonna take work.
Absolutely.
All of it's gonna take work. If I want a better body, I'm gonna have to work out. I can't just wake up, even though I would love to just wake up and be hot. That is not what's gonna happen. I'm gonna have to work at it.
The integrations are, I think, of like maybe the most crucial part here.
Sure.
Because in therapy, we're integrating anyway. Like in any type of therapy, I'm integrating what you've been doing. Like what are you struggling to overcome? What are you hoping the outcome's going to be? And what are your roadblocks that have been preventing that outcome? And you're telling me those things in session, and I'm helping you integrate all of what, connect the dots. That goes back to Dr. Phil's favorite line. Like he's hearing people on his show say, this is my problem. This is how I'd like it solved. And this is why I can't solve it. And he repeats over and over again, how's that working for you?
Right.
He's integrated. He's integrating all the information.
Yeah. So, but really, if you're a good therapist, you should be working yourself out of a job.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Sorry, I'm right. I mean, we should, as a coach, if I'm coaching people or if I'm really, you should be empowering.
Yeah, true.
So you may not have to worry. You may not have to continue to solve that problem.
Well,
but it's layered. Most people have
Yeah.
lifetimes of layered faiths.
Yeah, absolutely. And go back to my Hunt the Good stuff with, reaching out to a player reaching out.
Then life, let me say, life continues to happen also.
That's what that's exactly that's exactly where I was going with that. It's like life continues to happen, right? And that's the best part to me about being a coach for as long as I was, that they reach out to you and they update you on life, or they ask you questions about life. And that's the thing about humans. Look, I cannot guarantee that that we're going to fix everything. I can't guarantee that everything's going to be awesome and smell like roses. But what I can guarantee is, one, you will have storms in your life, and two, you will make mistakes and fuck up a lot. And so but we're, and so, yeah, we're going to overcome this one thing and maybe talk through it. You'll feel better about it. But guess what? It's down the line for you. Another fuck up.
Sure. But my point is, you might be working yourself out of this ketamine cycle.
Yes.
Because people will handle that trauma.
Correct.
The point is not to be on ketamine forever.
No.
Right? Like talking about that.
No.
You eventually,
No.
it is common for you to get over the hump.
Right.
To where you don't need it. And then maybe you get a tune-up. I call it a tune-up. I don't know. Like once a year or something like that. Maintenance dose. Yeah. Maintenance dose. But my point is to that statement of you're going to work yourself out of a job is that for that piece, you may not need ketamine. It doesn't mean that you don't need somebody to talk to.
Correct. Absolutely right. I cannot imagine the reason to be on ketamine the rest of your life, psilocybin the rest of your life. God help you if you're doing ibogaine 2, 3, 4 times a year. That's a lot of vomit. That's a lot. Now, there are some I know that have done it multiple times, but they don't report the need to have to do it that as often. So, the psychedelic world is the intent, the real sincere intent here is for it to be curative, to help people move on, not to keep people stuck, not to keep using it. So, for those out there that are listening to this and they're interested in psychedelics, I encourage all of you, one, like really research where you're getting it from. And when I say where, I don't mean like the company necessarily. I mean, do you have a therapist that understands it? The therapist is going to be with you, share space with you, integrate with you. I mean, it sounds kind of corny, but in this process, your therapist is your ride or die. Like they're getting in the car with you, like, or is it fragmented out to different people? Right? Which is the medical model. Go there for this, go there for that, go to this other person for that. And is that great for your holistic care? And that's what makes what we do differently. We live in a medical model world where there's insurance involved and blah, blah, blah.
Sure.
But the relationship is the most important thing in therapy. Sure. You have to trust that person, and they have They have to be there and share that space with you in an authentic way. If you don't feel like where you're getting your psychedelic is authentic and it benefits you holistically and you're going to work with your therapist with it, then maybe you need to find someone else to get it from. And I want to hold those values.
So what questions should somebody ask, or how do they find that match?
Yeah.
I mean, like,
That's a good question.
it's tough, right? I mean,
It's challenging because it's almost like you're interviewing them, interviewing interviewing their methods. Just start, but that's where I would start. Investigate their website, investigate their, give them a call on the phone, put some information together, gather some intel before you schedule. Ask them if they'll do a free consult. Hey, we just talked to me on the phone for 10 minutes. Have a list of questions together. I mean, shoot, reach out to us. Like how many people I'll answer the phone for all the time.
you answer the phone, which is at some point you're.
I know. I got my own boundary issues, right? I don't set limits very well, but I'm always happy to talk people through making a good choice.
And I think the other piece is the intention piece of what is our intention and what is your intention.
Yeah.
And there are clinics that it is a money maker.
Yeah.
Right. A ketamine clinic where that is a money maker.
Yep.
Much like on the scouts where
I think people are trying to. Yeah.
Correct. Peptides are great. Correct. And I'm a big fan, but weight loss clinics that are doing Ozempic and
low G clinics.
Guys. Yes, absolutely.
They're not just guys anymore. Guys and girls. Like guys want to get. Yes. Those are boutique clinics that you can go in, drive in. Again, that lends to the fix it mentality.
Sure.
I want to lose weight. Fix it.
Sure.
I want my 11s up here to like flatten out.
There's a tox.
Exactly right. I want my testosterone's low. Fix it. Fix it. Exactly right. Exactly. Like all the things. Hell, we'll make it convenient. We'll mail it to your house. Like we'll teach you how to do it. And you mail it to your house. All these things.
I want to argue like a little bit on this. Like,
I just want to psychedelics should not be lumped into that part of it.
I agree. I think that there is a spiritual nature to plant medicines, especially, that we have to preserve, or you're not going to get what you inserted. And I think that's also a piece of all of this.
Yeah, agree. And we'll see how it unfolds with, as companies are now getting ready to, psilocybin synthetic, the lab created version of it is about ready to go. And how is that going to be rolled out and made accessible to others? What's the oversight going to be? What are the requirements going to be? I don't know what that's going to look like. There's MDMA trials going on right now at VA hospitals across the country. Yeah. There's MDMA trials going, believe it or not, going on military bases right now. And that
community's happening.
And our military and our veteran population, they're at the forefront of psychedelic research. Sure. For obvious reasons. There's all kinds of psychedelics that are being, clinically trialed right now. I don't know how it's going to roll out. Who knows what it's going to look like? I just think people need to be very careful to not assume that it's going to be treated like I got low T, I can go get that fixed. I got my mood is low, I can go get that fixed.
Right.
We gotta be very.
Take a little bit of work.
Yeah, it's gonna
take some work.
Absolutely right. It should, as it should.
So, if somebody has questions or wants to know more about this,
Sure. So for those of you listening out there, podcast land and YouTube and wherever you find this, what you leave questions in the comments, I will absolutely answer them. Send me an email, give us a call in my office. Like I said earlier, I'm always open to answering questions and guiding people to make the right decision for them. I'd love to carry this discussion on with anybody that's interested. I'm happy to answer all those questions. Reach out in the comment section, give us a call, send me an email. I'll answer all of them. I think what I just did by saying I'll answer all of them is I just adopted another puppy is what I just did.
I think you did. Yeah. That's all the time we have. Thanks for joining us. See you next time.